A lot of people say that the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip3 5G is the best foldable ever. And while I completely understand where they're coming from, and I can't believe that I'm saying this, it's just not for me. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel where we take awesome out of the box. My name is Leia, and this is my full review of the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip3 5G. But before we get to that, here's a quick reminder to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our videos. So I've been using this device for about 3 weeks now, and I'm sure you saw my initial excitement when I first unboxed it and when I first saw it. But then after using it for a couple of days, I realized na hindi kami compatible. Here's why. It's the form factor. It's a foldable, so when you're not using it, you close it, and when you're ready to do some work, you open it. But because of the nature of my job, I receive a gazillion messages every day, I kid you not. So I ended up opening it, closing it, opening it, closing it so many times in a day, it just became such a hassle. I don't even bother closing it anymore. So now I'm just using it like a regular smartphone. I do have to mention though that one time I left the house to run errands during MECQ, I like the fact that I was able to fold it and able to slip it into my tiny bag. But that was once. Because of our current situation, I hardly get to go out. I think a lot of us are mostly staying home, so I don't really get to enjoy the folding feature so much. Is it a great device? Yes. Definitely. It's just not ideal for my current use and situation. Having said that, there are a lot of things that I love about this device. To begin with, the hinge doesn't just work to open and close it. You can use it in many different angles, and it's very helpful when you're on a video call, when you're taking selfies. It works like a mini stand or a mini tripod. So you guys may have already heard this, for video calls, it's not the most flattering angle. So you may have to, use books or whatever to make it higher to get to that ideal level. But for selfies, particularly full body ones, and if you're a shorty like me, it works like a charm, and then automatic you get that height because of the angle from below. But if you're outside, I suggest you take that shot really quickly because we don't want to leave the phone lying around. The performance is exceptional. The Snapdragon 888 does not disappoint. It's crazy fast, crazy smooth. You can multitask, no lags, no stutters. It can handle anything you throw its way. Now, my unit has 8 gigs of RAM and 128 gigabytes of storage. The storage is enough for me, but if you need more, there's always the bigger one, the 256 gigs version. If there's one pain point for me, it's the battery. It's at 3,300 mAh and it doesn't last me the whole day. Maybe around 5 to 6 hours. That's it. Take note that I use it mostly for work, so that's social media, email, Viber, all the messages, and I get a gazillion in fairness, but I don't game, I don't watch videos, trabaho lang talaga to. Which brings me to my second concern, the charging. So it's 15 watts if you use a cable and 10 watts if you charge wirelessly. That's just not fast enough. I mean, there are devices that charge at 60 watts, and I can't help but wish that Samsung would be more aggressive in this department. Let's move on from the past. More than the battery capacity, it's really the charging speed that gets me. An upside to having a smaller battery is the phone is really light. As in, coming from the S21 Ultra, this weighs nothing. Let's talk about the main display. The 6.7-inch dynamic AMOLED 2X panel is great. The colors, the vibrancy, the crispness of the details, nakaka-spoil, guys. I honestly wasn't worried about this because it's a given. Samsung's AMOLED screens never disappoint, and the 120Hz refresh rate is a great touch as well. Scrolling and swiping is extra smooth. Now, a lot of people have been asking me, is there a crease? Well, yes, it's there. When you're looking at the screen dead on, you hardly notice it. But from the sides, there's more of a glare, so it's more noticeable. But for me, more than seeing it, it's feeling it when I swipe. So I said earlier that it's a smooth experience, and I meant that visually, but when you're scrolling and swiping and you hit the middle or you hit the crease, yes, you definitely feel that slight dip. I also have to mention that while the dual firing speakers on the Z Flip 3 is better than the previous Flip, it is a step down from the S21 Ultra. So we'll do a quick comparison. Here's a clip from the S21 Ultra and the Z Flip 3. Now let's move on to the camera. So this one has three. You have two at the back and one selfie camera. By now, I'm sure you guys know the specs, but we'll still flash it on screen. And I just have to mention that while more and more smartphones have more and more cameras these days, I find that these three are all I really need. The cameras are pretty good, they take decent photos, they're vibrant, you see the details. The dynamic range is okay. I just can't help but compare it with the S21 Ultra because I've been using it since it came out last Feb, I think. And naturally, the S21 takes better photos. I mean, 108 megapixels, bigger sensor versus a 12 megapixel camera. It's a given. But I guess it's one of the compromises because it's a foldable. But having said that, I would gladly and confidently post the pictures taken with the Z Flip 3. I really appreciate the fact that you can take photos and videos using the cover screen. So with that, you can use the main camera, and because it's bigger, you can frame yourself better. And the photos turn out pretty good. They're pretty sharp. Speaking of the cover screen, while I don't really get to use it a lot because as I mentioned, I just leave my phone open, but I think that it's one of the biggest upgrades on this smartphone. One more thing, aside from having widgets, you see more notifications, you can even clear it. And if you're trying to lessen your screen time, I think that this is a very effective way to go about it because just by glancing at your notifications, you'll see which ones are urgent, which ones you can ignore for now, and hopefully this deters us from mindlessly scrolling on social media. I think we're all guilty of that. Okay, so let's balance it out with another con for me. It's the placement of the power button / side-mounted fingerprint scanner. I don't know if it's just because I have small hands, but it's the same daw, sabi ni Jamie. And it's pretty hard for me to reach using my thumb. So what I did was to enroll my middle finger on my left hand. So when I open it, that's where it lands anyway. And it works in unlocking the phone. I've been getting a lot of questions about the durability of the phone. And guys, I have to say that I haven't actively tried to destroy the phone because I don't have it in me. I don't have the heart for that. What I can talk to you about at the moment is the feel when I open and I close the device. And right now, I can tell you that the hinge feels very sturdy. As in, I'm not scared to open it and close it several times a day. It just feels solid. We've heard about the improvements to make the phone tougher. There's the Armor aluminum hinge and cover. There's Gorilla Glass Victus. There's Gorilla Glass DX for the cameras. And all these things in theory should work. But personally, I would still get a cover for this device. And fortunately, there are a lot of cute ones available. And I know that aside from the looks, it'll also help put my mind at ease. So after sharing my experience using this device, I guess I can say that my heart wants it and it really wants it so bad. But my mind says that I should get something more practical and more fit for my use. But if you're looking for a foldable right now, I can confidently say that this is the one to get. The Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 3 5G is $52,990 for the base model and $56,990 for the one with more storage. And that's it for this video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, follow us on Facebook, TikTok, and on Instagram. My name is Leia. Stay safe, happy, and healthy, everyone. Bye!